far as influence is concerned, Invisible Incorporated wears its reverence for XCOM proudly on its chest like a merit badge. With its randomly generated levels laid out in squares like a game board and turn-based infiltrations, it wasn't long before Cly Entertainment's stealth strategy game had me seeing grids in my sleep, the same way I did after a few sessions in Firaxis' alien invasion simulation. And yet, after a couple disastrous run-throughs, I realized an even greater resonance with yet another beloved game, a connection I didn't see coming, and one that reveals in even greater clarity the answer to the question: Will it Let's Play? Invisible, Inc. is tough. Less than 10 missions separate the initial tutorial from the final infiltration, but the chances of successfully completing that last mission on the first go are next to nil. Instead, you're going to die. But each time, building experience, you'll be rewarded with new potential squad members or equipment, as well as the invaluable additional experience you acquired while failing miserably. It was somewhere around my 4th Grand Massacre that my agents all died, and I realized I'd felt this magical combination of frustration and progression before, and not while playing XCOM, but a very different game, FTL. Yes, Invisible Incorporated combined the general playstyle of the former with the merciless, addictive gauntlet that is the space exploration roguelike, one of the best games of 2012. Like FTL, you'll find yourself dying again and again, steadily making improvements, going further, those final enemies taunting you, the final reward so close but so unattainable. Like FTL, each new game is entirely unique, the levels randomly generated. Instead of new ships, you're given new squad members with new skills, each requiring a different strategy to use them to their fullest potential. And once you do make it all the way to the end credits, there are more than a half dozen additional difficulty levels and challenges to bring you back to do it all over again. All of this makes it perfect for Let's Plays or streaming. Every time you play it, it's different, so every creator is guaranteed unique content, and that content is going to feature all the horrible, unexpected disasters and tense, at the last second victories that make for brilliant video. This game will piss you off. It'll make you scream, but it'll also make you feel smooth, like the ultimate spy, and all of it, top to bottom, is a blast to watch. It ain't all jelly beans and butterflies, though. While the gameplay is relatively simple to pick up, certain information, like needing a vault key in your inventory before infiltrating a bank, isn't communicated very well, and this leads to some frustrating moments that can cripple a playthrough. There's nothing more annoying than realizing halfway through a mission that the item you need to finish is still sitting in your stash. And because of frequent auto-saving, there's no way to really undo your mistake. You just have to live with it and move on. Complications can make for better content, sure, but these moments tend to skew more towards interruptions than they do towards entertaining mishaps. Additionally, while the art style is fun, there's very little variety in terms of the look of the levels themselves. From bank to prison to server farm, every infiltration will feature the same look and feel, even as the layouts and objectives change. This extends to the gameplay itself, as you're mostly doing the same things, sneaking, striking, and hacking over and over again. There's plenty of variety in layout, in approach, and in enemies, but the manner in which each level is tackled is essentially the same, so it's not as if progression through the game will yield greater and greater visual spectacles. At its core, the game is pretty simple, and the visuals do somewhat reflect that. It's also worth mentioning that there's no multiplayer built in, so this is essentially a single-player experience, making it less useful to creators who rely on collaborations for content. What's great about Invisible, Inc. is that it doesn't require any complicated editing or editorializing to make it interesting. Just sit, hit record, and start playing, and you're going to have interesting play sessions in useful increments of time that tell a fun story. Sure, you can make it tighter if you want, editing out the quieter moments when you're not under threat of discovery, but that's really just a matter of style. Each mission takes somewhere between 10 and 30 minutes, so even without editing, you're going to have clearly defined episodes of reasonable length just from the way the game is naturally presented. Add to that the slow acquisition of new squad members, equipment, and abilities, and the exhaustive range of difficulties and intense challenges, and you have a game you could keep playing forever, keeping it interesting, yielding countless episodes, all of them different, all of them fun on their own but enhanced by committed viewing, the narrative of getting just that much closer providing a wonderful overall frame for the series. The best part is that, given the general pattern of playing until your squad dies, gaining new gear, and starting over, Invisible, Inc. is the sort of game you can keep coming back to, again and again, playing in between other series here and there. You could use it as an emergency content machine, The game you go to when you're between other projects. No matter what, it'll always give you something new and fun. To me, what makes a game perfect for Let's Play is a combination of simplicity and complexity. It has to be a game that's simple to pick up, simple to understand as a viewer, but also complex enough to have real legs. It needs to be something that not only you enjoy coming back to again and again, but your audience does as well. They need to get something new every time they watch, as you do every time you play. Invisible, Inc. fills that role perfectly. You can play it again and again, the game always changing around you, new characters, new layouts, new weapons, and chances are it'll be a long time before you can claim ultimate victory. A moment that will be just as hard-earned for your fans as it is for you. Given its below-average price and its long lifespan, I'd recommend it to any content creator looking for something new to show their fans.